So we're here today to tell you about Bobbylee Burns, who's from the northeast of England. She lives in Hebburn, our local town, and she's an up-and-coming boxer. I used to go into the boxing gym that she used to train at, like when she was 12 or whatever. And my dad once had us in, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to come to the boxing club and do some circuits?" But I would never step in the ring. And he said to us, I always tell everyone this, he was like, "You should see this little lass in the ring, man. She's got hair down her legs and she's boxing all the lads, doing them all in." And then I walked in, there was this bonny little kid, long blonde hair, she's literally in the ring, like jumping around like this. And then she had fights. And long story short, we were on the lakeside one time, like literally two and a half years ago. And she served with drinks, and my dad was like, "Oh, do you know who that is?" And I was like, "Oh, who?" And he was like, "Do you not remember little Bobbylee, the boxer?" And I was like, she's like a little woman now. And then it dawned on us, I was like, I wonder what she's doing now. And my dad was like, "Oh, I think she's PTing." Then when I was thinking about opening the gym, I was like, I need to have a coach who like knows what they're doing, who's fit themselves. And then that was when I basically like reached out to Bobby and dragged her into the gym to start training the girls.
I used to do jiu-jitsu before it, and then I told my mum I actually want to like punch people, so that's why I started boxing. I just didn't like girly sport. Well, I went into it because of my mum's boyfriend. He coached and trained at the gym I went to first, which was Perth Green.
And then where do you train now?
Kenton.
Kenton Boxing Club.
In Kenton.
When was your first actual amateur fight?
My first one was like Perth Green home show.
And then you got an award for it, didn't you?
Best boxer of the night. My second fight, that Cyrus gives his top. Cyrus Ramon. Well, I train with him now actually at Unit 20. Well, I go there at Unit 29, he's there every now and then.
So he boxed for GB?
Aye. He'd give us like a GB top and then says he reckons I'll go far and should get on England one day, and then I am on it. So that like gives a push when I lost, because that was my first loss, that one.
So currently for when you've been scouted for the development team of GB, what happens after that if like you progress?
If I keep going on and then obviously do international competitions all around the world really, and then I hopefully go to the Olympics, but I don't know about that. Just have to see. I work in 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Work here, work at the Lakeside, which is a local pub, which is around the corner, like 5 minutes from the gym. They also sponsor us as well. So that obviously helps pay for my kit, my travel down Sheffield, pay for my boxing sessions. So I wake up probably 6:30 in the morning, 6:15, come here for 7, train people to like 8:30, 9:30, quickly go home, come back for my boxing class. And then after my boxing class, go home, get ready for work at the Lakeside. Mostly 11:30 till 5, get changed in the toilet at the pub, and then go straight to Kenton, box there till like 7:30, 7:15. Sometimes come here on a Tuesday at 6:30, and then train again, like classes.
And then like every couple of weekends you go down to...
down to Sheffield, aye.
So the facilities that you train at for GB in Sheffield, what are they like in comparison to like a little boxing gym in the northeast?
Solid, like.
And like the way that Bobby boxes, this is just my personal opinion, she's so clean and slick and technical, and she listens and she's calm and she's clever, that someone like GB's looked at and thought, well, we can train her, because she doesn't come in guns blazing or anything like that. You're dead calm and collected. But I feel like having someone in the gym like Bobbylee is so inspiring for me and for the girls.
A friend of mine that we used to work with, Gary Thories, he started it all off because he was a Ghostbusters fan, mad. And he said, "Stan, why do you want to build a Ghostbusters?" And it just went from there, and I thought, some people was just saying, "Well, I've got a car if you want it." And we just thought of a thing to do, and we just made them into different cars. I love doing them anyway. My name is Stanley Yannetta, and at Stan's Auto Services, South Shields, Tyneside. It's my garage. It started just before the lockdown, to be honest. We bought an old hearse, and I converted it into a Halloween car. That was the first car before then, about 5 years ago that now. And then on lockdown, we went and bought another old hearse from Scotland, and I converted that within 8 weeks into a Ghostbusters car. And I just keep adding them all the time. If I can get a car for now, I'll convert it. You'd be amazed how many people come here just to see the cars. I've got a wedding coming up in about a month's time, and that's getting used for the Ghostbusters, the vast for that one. But I've done weddings in the Hulk, I've done a wedding in the Hulk, and the one that's in the garage, Chitty Bang Bang, I've done 3 weddings in that one. Chitty Bang Bang came a couple of years ago, just a Honda Civic, and we bought them to do them to sell on. But they stood that long, we just decided what we want to make into it will look good with Chitty Bang Bang. We'll strip it right the way down with its base shell, cut the body in half, and then just started from there. There's no plans on it, it was just all stuck in your head which way we were going to build it. All the wood, believe it or not, is off, the single beds and double beds, the bedsteads on the wood bed. That's what all them off. And I've got in touch with people, and people that were how beds out, we've got all the wood slats. If you look at the headlights on it, they're off a pool table with the 3 lights above your pool table. I converted them into headlights. I bought one first, which was a hearse from Scotland as well. That was a Undertaker car. And then from there, I got the other hearse with the Chitty Bang Bang. The van I got given, them 3 vehicles there were actually given to us because for the charity work I do, so instead of selling us them, I just give us them. If I'm left alone and I don't have to do the garage work and I get the lads on it, I can have them done within a month. Any car. I put my time into them straight away and just do anything. And I do all kinds of parties and everything with them. We'll do anything with them. I've done a funeral in the hearse. Actually done a proper funeral in that. The guy I knew him very well, and he came to say, he went, Stan, I haven't got long left, but will you do my funeral? And I thought he was joking. And then his wife and his mother-in-law came to say, and I knew them very well, and said, I want a word with you, Stan. What's the matter? What have I done? Says, my husband, you know why once you can't have it. I thought he's only joking. He said, no, it's all in black and white. You need to do his funeral, and I've done a funeral.
And that was the Ghostbusters one?
Ghostbusters car, aye. The Spider-Man I got, it was on eBay. It was just a statue that stood in the corner, and I paid a lot of money for that. And when I got it here, I converted it to fit on the roof of that. And the Hulk was built as a guy down in South Yorkshire. I got in touch with him and he'd make you anything you want. It's all foam, that. Dino, I got him made, which is my dinosaur. I got him made about, I've become to 3 years now. A guy from Yorkshire built us it, asked us what size I wanted, what it was for. And he built us it, and then we picked it up and fetched it here. We used it for Halloween. This is, like you say, it's for charity, but I enjoy doing it anyway. And I enjoy taking them out on the weekends.
It's a strange tale. I took part in a TV programme. One of the guys who took part got in touch with us later on to see if I'd fancy doing a bit of gravy wrestling. I'd actually had a heart attack in 2021 and this was 2022, so just over a year since my heart attack. And I just felt that I'd met so many people. I'd met people in the sort of exercise rehabilitation classes for heart attacks who walked around with their personal rain cloud over their heads. They were so frightened when the next heart attack was coming, so depressed. And I thought, I can't be done with that. I need to know what I can do. And one thing I remember more than anything was I asked the consultant about it when I'd finished the treatment, because I've had 6 stents fitted in my heart in 2 separate operations. And I asked the consultant what I could do in terms of exercise after everything was sorted out. And he basically, his exact words were, the sky's the limit. And I took him at his word, and I'd only just come out of hospital, and they said he could go out walking and things like that. So I took that to mean I could walk 4 or 5 miles. What that really meant was you can walk around the block. But I went through an exercise rehabilitation classes. It was depressing, but it was a means of getting signed off to be able to do better and bigger and naughtier things. The gravy wrestling invitation came along just a year later, and I thought, well, yeah, let's give it a go. As the Geordie Pantsman, in 2010 I broke a Guinness World Record by wearing the most pairs of underpants at one time. I set it in a local nightclub because you have to have a lot of witnesses and have it filmed and that sort of thing to send it off to Guinness. And I put on 211 pairs of pants. So the gravy wrestling or anything that comes along, if it's a TV appearance, whatever, I always try to bring the Geordie Pantsman back onto the scene. After I finished the world record and the TV appearances, I actually decided to get myself super fit, and I was going to the gym up to 10 times a week. I lost 3 stone. So a load of the pants that I'd bought didn't fit us anymore. And actually, when I went to the gravy wrestling, I struggled to match up the right size of pants because I didn't want to put 200 pairs of pants on to fight in a gravy wrestling ring, but I wanted to look big enough to make it look like a big baby, if you like a giant nappy. And I'd even put a bit of plastic bags underneath to try and stop myself from getting too wet during. And the gravy wrestling itself was just fantastic. You were taken down into the basement of the pub, into this dirty, horrible little changing area with one shower for the 18 people who were taking part, men and women. There's only one changing room and one shower. And just got changed in there. I bumped into this guy, and he put the fear of God into us, telling us that that he would be taking it seriously. He said that some people don't, they take it as a bit of fun, but he wanted to win. And I'm thinking, this is not really what I wanted to hear on my first visit to gravy wrestling. I thought it was just going to be a bunch of jovial little people like myself who just wanted to have a bit of a laugh and wanted to entertain the crowds. When I get the chance to get out and meet people and do different things, I kind of jump for it for a bit more variety. And also just what I said about, you know, trying to not live my life thinking when's the next heart attack coming along, you know. I like gravy on me dinner, but not on myself. I don't mind eating gravy, but I don't want to wear any more of it ever again. Particularly on your face and your eyes, it was just blinding.
It was really hard. I've done a lot of hard things in the past. I love doing hard things because I just feel like you need to struggle to grow.
Hello, my name's Joe Larkin. 2 weeks ago, I ran from South Shields to Paris to raise money for a mental health charities, Samaritans and Space North East. It took a 485 mile over 13 days to reach the middle of Paris.
I like helping and inspiring people, especially young lads, because being in difficult situations and facing a lot of mental adversity in my past, I know what it feels like to be feeling worthless and not strong. And this is why I do challenges like this, to show people that what happens when you don't give up, and there's an achievement on the other side of fear.
2 years ago, I lost my granddad, and we grew this bond together that we were best friends, and I got to say goodbye to him before he passed away, and the last thing I did say was, I'm going to make you proud and I'm going to take you on a journey, and this is what I do all these hard things for. Do me marathons, do all these hard challenges where I do struggle and I do go into a dark place during, but I know at the end when I achieve the goal, I know he's watching, and there was a lot of signs on that challenge where I knew he was there helping us, so that's what I do it for. So I started running in 2020, just before COVID started. Just started off small.
1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile. Then I ended up just running my first marathon around the streets. I can remember I finished work. I used to work for the NHS. And I just finished work and I thought I want to push myself a little bit more. And I ended up just running a marathon. And that's when I started to realise, and other people realised, I was getting really good at running, and started to show my name as like, this lad is actually really good at it.
And that's when I started really finding out who I am as an individual, and started focusing on my own mental health, and realised actually I was quite really unhappy at that time as well. And I kind of just started working and putting them both together and realising how good running is for your mental health. And that's when my business came along, Believe to Run, because I wanted to help people. As well as doing my own challenges, I wanted to help people get better at running and get stronger in life, because that's exactly what I've done for myself.
To be honest, after the first day, it was probably the first time I ever thought, wow, can I actually do this? Because I've never really ran that much consecutively every day. And I can remember after my first day running 38 mile, I woke up the next day and I couldn't even walk. And I thought, wow. But I just kept going every day, and it was hard. I was getting injuries, but I just knew my purpose was I was going to do this for my granddad and do this for people struggling, and I would never ever give up. So again, it was just every day I was getting that euphoric feeling of finishing right another day closer to Paris. And once I reached the bottom of the England, I thought, I'm going to do it now. But it was just a life-changing experience. It was just over like a flash, but then like all the past couple of weeks, I've just took in a lot of gratitude of, I can't believe I've just ran to Paris, but that's just fueled us for my next mission.
I mean, if you ask my lass, Sundays are kind of like scratched out of the diary for things to do. Mostly it's 99% Sundays is like surf club day.
We're at South Shields Surf School on Sandhaven Beach in South Shields. We are C Company. We're a group of veterans who come and surf every Sunday.
I'm down here most weekends unless I've got something on that I can't get out of. This is my priority, but yeah, most weekends I'm down here.
So mostly it's people who haven't surfed at all. It's rare that people have done it before, to be fair. So it's a new thing, a new skill to try and learn, new challenge for people.
When I say I took to it, I'm not any good at it, like, but yeah, it's I thoroughly enjoy it, and yeah, it's quite addictive, if I'm honest with you.
So it's all free for veterans. They don't have to pay anything. They can come down, use the gear, no charge at all. Thanks to, we've had several donors actually. It started off with Seascapes and National Trust, and now we are funded by the Veterans Foundation, who've been really supportive, and we're really grateful to have their support.
I was introduced to it through a charity called Sporting Force from Darlington at the time, and there was about 6 of us came down, and most of us stuck to it. Everyone's still within the group, but you know, I come down quite regularly now. Some of us come down occasionally. So
we've got upwards of 60 people enrolled now. We don't obviously get that number every week, but you know, it's just growing and growing, which is really good.
My background is from a military side. I was a reservist with the Royal Yorkshire Regiment for 30 years. I'm now the chairman of the Middlesbrough branch of the Yorkshire Regiment Association.
Andy's probably been here probably the longest at the guys. He used to surf back when he was in the Navy, and he wasn't able to do that for a few years.
I was based mainly down in Cornwall, and I used to surf when I was down there. And then when I came back out of the Navy, I came up and I did surf when I came out, but it did gradually petered off as winters got colder. Compared to Cornwall, I got a bit less eager to get in on the cold water, but then I had a couple of health problems. I had a stroke and I also had a heart problem, so that really kind of knocked the problem of going in by myself surfing. So I hadn't surfed for a good few years when Matt came, and because one of my like kind of fears was that I was going to go in the water and something was going to happen to us. So when Matt came along and said that he was going to have a like a surf club going for veterans, I thought I'll go along and see what it's like, and I've been here ever since. Yeah,
I was in the parachute regiment for 9 years, and yeah, I did some private security and stuff after that as well, and also in the reserves now as well. I rejoined not long ago. I had always wanted to surf when I was younger, but never got around to it. So when we moved here around 2018, I came to Nick's surf school and did a public lesson, group lesson. Got hooked straight away, and then spent the next 2 or 3 years just going about myself. Got some gear and tried to get a handle of surfing, which is easier said than done. And then in 2021, I approached Nick, knowing that he does loads of community projects down here with the surf school, and mentioned that it might be a good thing to do a veterans surfing project, as I'd got a lot out of it myself. And wanted to share that with other people who'd been in the forces as well, so they could benefit from it.
Apart from the actual part of surfing, I mean, there's a good community, so there's a great amount of banter between the 3 services. Everybody digs each other.
We're all sort of mates. We come down, have a bit of a surf. As you can see, we've got the beach fire on, get some brews, bit of food. Again, it's all funded by the Veterans Foundation. We've got funding for that, so it's really nice to see the guys getting a lot out of it. The difference as well, before and after. Sometimes you come down and you're not in the best mood or whatever. You have a surf, have a chat with the guys. It's really exposure to nature and to all the benefits of the water. It's noticeable. It's remarkable.